Ramble.
This episode is brought to you by Honey.
Have you ever seen an animal with 4 legs, otherwise known as a quadruped, and thought, I want to take off one of those legs? Oh. Well, what do you got?
Oh, a tripod!
Tripod. Yes.
Hey.
Yes, wow. Welcome to this 3-legged animal we call the tripod. Here's one leg, Zach. Say hi.
I was so happy when I figured that puzzle out.
All right, another leg is Ned. Say hi.
I still can't get the image of a 3-legged puppy out of my head. It's really sad, you guys.
Another leg is here, the 3rd leg. Ooh, the 3rd leg is Keith.
Tripedal animal.
Yeah, and then Miles is that sexy, large general torso area.
Hey, what's up? I'm the torso.
I was also thinking like a kangaroo has 2 legs and a big-ass tail.
No, it's definitely a 3-legged dog.
As we've talked about, kangaroos use their tail as a leg, and it's
As a foot.
freaky.
As a
It's
foot.
bizarre.
That is very
As a
weird.
foot.
You guys ever wish you had tails? I mean, I do kind of
yeah.
like just a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit. Just a little swish swash. Just imagine the pants. There would be like little holes in your pants cut out for your tail to poke through.
Well, do you think that would be the case, or would we just have our tail go through a long little leg loop? Like we would just have a third...
You think you got to keep that baby covered up?
Well, and I think there would be baggy tails, and then I think there would be a trend of very tight tail pants.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Well, it depends on what tail you have. Like, what's your animal tail?
Mine's very short and meaty.
I feel like it'd be nice to have a little Porky Pig tail, like just a little kind of curly.
Are
cue.
you crazy?
Like a
That
curl.
would be the worst tail.
No, but
Everybody
Waste of a tail.
People would just grab your little tail and flick it into
Yeah.
your butt all day long.
Yeah, exactly.
Just walking through the mall.
It'd be real cute.
There's no point of having a tail if it can't wrap around things. I want to be a monkey again. I want to be able to hang from trees and open cans and like tap people on the back and then be like, oh, it wasn't me. See, my hands are up here. It's hilarious.
What would toilets look like if we had big beefy tails? That's the question. The
You-
commode, it couldn't have a back. It would have to be an isolated
Yeah.
seat.
Well, you
know?
could
I think-
just sit on the toilet facing the wall.
Yeah, you would have to go to like a special tail barber.
Miles, are you picturing that we are sitting
Yeah.
facing... Wow.
Yeah, you're like
Facing
a
the
cool
flusher?
guy, a cool teacher. You're a cool teacher
Well,
in the toilet.
that's how you sit on the toilet when you want to eat lunch and poop. It's a nice little table.
That's good. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
they
You know,
don't
Ned,
teach
you
you
bring
that
up
in
an-
elementary school.
Ned, you bring up another unfortunately disturbing topic because you said someone would have to trim our
Yeah.
tail.
Oh,
However,
yeah.
the rest of our body has mostly evolved away from hair. So it's possible that we would just have little fleshy tails
Ew.
that are hairless.
Ew.
Probably.
Ew.
You know, the sexiest tail would probably be a bunny rabbit because if you know anything from the history of animation, everyone's trying to fuck the bunny.
Everyone's trying to fuck bunnies. Lola Rabbit from
Every-
Space Jam is, you know, she's hot. We're just all going to say it.
She is
We
hot.
all
There's
agree.
this-
Tripod
Yeah.
endorses.
I read somewhere that Playboy magazine finally stopped printing. It was
Whoa.
like, yeah, buried amongst all the Rona. It was like, oh, and hey, also Playboy doesn't exist anymore.
What do you mean it doesn't
Well, it's
exist
still
anymore?
online.
Yes, still online.
But like they've ceased printing operations entirely?
Yeah,
Is
apparently.
that Rona
that's
related or
true.
just an inevitable change
I read it in the New York Times.
We all know that the exchange of fluids can increase the spread of disease, so Playboy. Yeah, hey.
Oh,
It's the morning!
well, good morning, listeners. We're recording this Wednesday, April 1st. It's April Fool's Day, but who wants to play a trick when the world is already playing the worst trick on you? And guess what? This one's real.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any good, like, past April Fool's Day stories?
I always used to do the water squirter where you put a rubber band around the faucet sprinkler, and then when you turn the faucet on, daddy's soaked.
Yeah, Wes, totally, he wants to play with water all the time. One of his hobbies is just washing his hands. And I'm like, yes, thank you. The change we need in the world.
Yes,
Wow.
it's my hobby.
He'll just do it for we're supposed to do it for 20 seconds. That boy will do it for 20 minutes.
Zach, I know we had a secret project that originally was supposed to come out April 1st, but did that get pushed?
Yeah, well, we've pushed a lot of our videos and schedule to a weird thing. Have we mentioned this on the podcast that we actually are pre-shot enough to kind of last us uninterrupted through mid-May, if not longer, like into June. We have so many videos shot, but then we've been pushing those back to record more timely videos because this is an extraordinary time and it calls for it.
Yeah, is it weird that whenever I see one of our pre-coronavirus videos and we're like touching each other, we're like hugging, we're like high-fiving, I don't know, whatever, but it's just a normal video, right? It feels weird.
But the video that comes out this Saturday is a passion project of mine, to say the least. That is one of the dumbest things we have. I can't even say we. I'm solely responsible for how dumb it is. One of the dumbest things I've ever made. And I don't know. It's either going to be like this very welcome relief amidst all the chaos of the world, or people are going to be like, not now, Zach. I don't know. We'll see.
Once per year, I shall unlock the discretionary budget of the Try Guys and make art, goddammit.
Well, I guess one thing I'll say cryptically is it'll be a nice relief from the corona news to see something more disturbing. There will be an image that will inevitably be shared, and we will see it. You know that, right, Zach? You said even in the video. Yeah.
The whole
there's
inciting incident.
It exists somewhere, and Twitter allows
Yeah, it will.
those types of
reemerge.
images.
Little Easter egg hunt for the whole internet.
I thought I had a screenshot of this thing that we are cryptically talking around that people may be able to figure out. Anyway, I thought I had it on my laptop, and I had been putting off putting it in the video because YB, who edited the project, I didn't want to give her... okay, I'll just say it. It's a video about a time that a image of my penis was accidentally uploaded to a BuzzFeed video. So it's this whole blown out, ridiculous narrative about that. But I thought I had the screenshot on my computer, and it's gone. So I don't have it. And then
Wait, so you're searching for your own penis?
I am searching for it, and it's gone but I know that it's out there. And then it was on Imager, but the link has expired.
No.
Thank God. So but I know that whoever uploaded it originally probably is going to dig back into their old computer. It's going to be a thing. It's going to be very exciting to see if my nudes leak.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a
that would be
sentence.
so sad if you made this whole video and then that your nudes had somehow been lost to time.
I think I'd be fine with that.
Let's put a disclaimer on our post. I just realized that if they happen to share the nude, do it separately. Don't reply all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the strong preference is that you do not share it with the world. Is that if you have it, you keep
but it will be shared.
It's hidden from view until you say, yes, I want to see it. And then it's are you sure? Yeah, I'm really sure. I want that in my eyes. Then they can look at it.
Keith, I think it's time for a very special egg update.
Egg update. The yolk of the week.
Excellent.
Okay, so 2 days ago, the day we recorded the podcast, I had my avocado toast with some nice over easy medium sort of eggs. They're really the perfect consistency. Excellent. And then yesterday I also ate some eggs. These eggs are a little overdone, but it was good just because I got to see what both egg styles would do. And I am happy to report that my guts were fine.
Whoa!
So whatever it was, it seems like the curse is lifted. Or maybe I was just always eating the most butter-drenched eggs, and I was confusing lactose intolerance with an egg issue. But it seems I'm going to have eggs again probably this week, and we'll see. We'll keep rolling the dice. Or maybe I was wondering, maybe I was just super unlucky for like a few years, and I got the 1 out of every 1,000 eggs has salmonella.
Oh shit!
And I just kept getting the salmonella eggs. That statistically speaking, 1 out of every 1,000. And if you eat, 100 eggs in a year, you've got a 10% chance. And I was certainly eating a ton of eggs for a long time, and I was always eating them with dairy as well.
Now, are you? I'm sure you're relieved, but there's a little part of you. Are you pissed that you've been avoiding them for all this time for nothing?
No. I'm a little because I always found good workarounds. I think the one time that it always sucked the most was whenever we were on set and there were breakfast sandwiches, and they never made a breakfast sandwich as just a sausage biscuit. They would always put cheese and or eggs on it. Or they'd be like, oh, we've got a great breakfast here. We've got an egg scramble. We've got egg sandwiches. We've got just eggs. Okay, well, all right.
What are you most excited to eat? Because as you know, I'm a huge egg consumer.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for the dishes you haven't been able to put in your body.
I'm excited to be able to put a runny egg into my ramen again.
Oh
yeah! Nothing makes ramen.
You've been avoided that. Oh no!
I know. Yeah. I haven't had the half-boiled egg, which is so delicious, and that makes your ramen 80 times better.
Fuck me up, Keith.
That was the thing. And here's the thing. Ramen definitely fucks my guts up. But it's one of those things I'm like, it's worth it. It's just so delicious. I don't care. But it's immediate for me. It's 20 minutes after the ramen is done, and I am not doing well. But it's so delicious. It's so amazing.
Oh, man.
Oh, do you guys want to hear something cool about spicy ramen that I learned last night?
Yeah,
spicy ramen fact.
Spicy ramen fact. So I was thinking, we're working on the spicy ramen video. We have Scoville units for the different ramen. So I was wondering, hey, is the Scoville scale linear or logarithmic? Is 8,000 going to be 4 times as bad as 2,000, or whatever the logarithm 40 times as bad is? Don't quote me on that. I don't remember logarithms that well. But turns out it's linear. But the way that they actually measure Scoville, now they have a liquid chromatography. But since 1912, they've been doing it by just dudes tasting it. So they mix whatever pepper with alcohol to take out the spicy elements that are called capsaicins. That's those are the spice molecules. They mix that with sugar water, and then they'll hand it to dudes that are just spice testers. They're certified spice testers, and the people say, yes, I still smell I still taste the spice. And then they'll dilute it. Then they'll do it again, and they'll say, yes, I still taste the spice. And then they'll dilute it.
That's a 4,000 right there.
Keep tasting it. They'll keep tasting it until it's diluted to the point where they say, no, I can no longer taste the spice. And that's how they come up with a numerical assignment for Scoville units.
Whoa.
Ned, that is a fun fact.
Pretty cool, right?
That is cool. That is very cool.
It got me all juiced up. I was like, damn, science is awesome, man. I miss science. So cool.
I do appreciate too. That is more scientific than when you started that story, because when you said it's just some dudes tasting, I thought it was some guy named Frank. He's like, oh, that's a 6,000 right there.
Oh, that feels like a 6,000 right there. I never had giardiniera quite like that.
Online shopping can be even better. You can shop with Honey. Miles, do you know what Honey is?
I do. It's the bomb.
Honey is the free online shopping tool that saves you money online. It automatically finds you the best promo code and applies them to your cart whenever you're shopping online. It's literally free money, and it is making online shopping finally feel as easy as it's supposed to be. Okay, so imagine, Miles, you're shopping at one of your favorite sites. Name a favorite site.
Best Buy.
And you want the Best Buy. So all you do is you go to checkout, and then this little box drops down from Honey. It's installed in your browser, and all you do is you click Apply Coupons. Bada bing, bada boom. You got every promo code from the internet scanned in moments, and then the prices drop, baby. We buy stuff online all the time. In fact, I bought a Vin Diesel action figure. I applied a honey coupon and it brought that baby down by 22%. Saving money with honey, it's awesome. It's found over 18 million members, over $2 billion in savings. And if you're not using honey, you are literally passing up on free money. It's free to use and installs in just a few seconds. Plus, it's backed by PayPal, so you know it's good. Get honey for free at joinhoney.com/tryguys. That's joinhoney.com/tryguys. Save that money, honey.
I have a story.
Yeah, Eugene.
Tell us, Grandpa, a story from
Children,
before.
come by the fire.
It struck me I have a story about a food allergy. Not that I don't have food allergies, but this has nothing to do with.
But I do just happen to break out in hives anytime I have cheese.
No, I have a friend. Oh, I don't want my friend to find out about this. He
Oh,
probably
I
doesn't
know
listen.
this story. This story's crazy.
It's a regular story. It's a rare story.
By the way, before you begin, this is sociopathic. What you did is it's fucked
I
up.
think no, it's scientific. It seems like the audience is okay with these stories. Maybe it's a little fucked up.
It's not as bad as last week. You don't need to skip forward.
He was my roommate for a while, and he always said that he was like deathly allergic to pork, right? And y'all know me, I'm like just Mr. Gourmand. I put everything in my mouth, and I'm always like, yo, you should like test it, because when was the last time you had pork? And he said, oh, when I was like a child, right? And I said, okay, maybe it's now time to test it. And he's like, no, every time I eat it though, I get sick and I like break out, and I like, so I basically was like, okay, so you kind of tested it, you're being very vague, doesn't seem like there's pretty substantial evidence. Anyway,
Boom, science.
he also didn't really care about cooking. So one time I was like, you know what? I was a little bored, and I said, what if I just like made a dish and didn't tell him pork was in it? So I made this pork sausage stir fry, but I told him it was beef.
Oh no.
And
You serve it with a side of EpiPen?
no, but I had
Oh no.
I had like 911 on standby, and I just sat there and I just watched him eat like literally 3 bowls. He just scarfed it down. He was loving it. And I just was thinking like the whole time, because sometimes he would even put pork to his nose and be like, oh, I can't have that. That's pork. And he just fucking inhaled this dish. And he was like, oh, thank you. And I was like, And then I watched him for the rest of the night. He went to bed. I was like, if he wakes up alive, then I was right. And he was totally fine. I never told him about it, so he still thinks he's allergic to pork, but he's not allergic to pork.
Which just goes to show you, allergies, the mental prison.
I don't think that's true. It's not true.
Your mind.
That's definitely not true.
Now, just so people don't think I'm actually
I dare you to
sociopathic.
chug a glass of milk while you say that again, Zach.
Bro, I will, because I'm going to break free.
Now, just to give a little context, I like think I had been sure that I've seen him eat pork products, and other people have as well. So it wasn't like I was giving someone who will die from peanuts like a peanut.
Right.
But I guess the way I recount it does make it sound like I'm...
It's the classic idiot where he's like, wait, bacon's pork? No, are you sure?
Right. But I guess also pork, like, I don't know what you would be allergic to in pork that you wouldn't be allergic to in other types of similar meat.
Well, Eugene, also this man was a Jewish young man?
No.
Oh, really? I
No.
thought he was when you told me the story.
I guess that does dial the sociopathic quotient back like 1 or 2
bit.
points.
Yeah. That's
But
good.
still borderline.
I think that
I don't know.
I feel that it does bother me when people like. I definitely like. I have a roommate who says she's allergic to things and she just doesn't like them, and it like always kind of just is like, you just don't like it. Just say you don't like it.
Well, for picky eaters, that's like the cheat code when you're out to dinner and you don't want to be a dick where it's like, oh, I don't like Parmesan. Can you keep it on the side? You just tell them, oh, I'm allergic to Parmesan. And then they keep it off.
Who doesn't like Parmesan? It's basically salt. It's just salt cheese.
pretty much, yeah.
I don't like Parmesan.
I think it's like emotional support animals, right? It confuses the issue from people that actually like need an EpiPen or need to be rushed to the hospital if they have a trace amount of peanuts, or dairy or whatever it is.
When Zach and I go out to eat together, we'll both be like, is there dairy in this dish? And they'll be like, there is a little bit. And I'll be like, oh, that's fine for me. And Zach will be like, that's not okay for me. And they're like, what? Why is it? And they're like, literally the other, like the lactose intolerant and the dairy allergy. And they're very confused. And then if you go to like nice restaurants, they'll come over like every time and be like, so this dish actually is cooked in a pan that also can sometimes have dairy in it. And we're like, I'm like, I assume that's fine for me. And Zach's like, I don't know. I don't know if that's okay.
At those very nice restaurants, sometimes what I'll tell the waiters is like, look, if you tell me that this is the best bite of food that I'll ever eat, and as long as it's not straight cream, it's worth a little bit of pain. But like, I gotta choose it will hurt me, but yes, if this focaccia was glazed with a slight butter and is just like gonna melt my dick apart, then yes, give me a bite of the focaccia.
Melt my dick apart is...
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
I was speaking in terms that Keith would understand.
Yeah, I have a little interjection here. Also, I just have all these stupid phrases, and I love when you guys start adopting them. Specifically, something my dick apart is a common one that I like to say.
Keithism,
or
sure.
Blow my dick off, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
This morning I woke up and I was like, I need to take my shower before the podcast so I look nice. I did not do that because our hot water is not working. I'm in the same place as Zach a few weeks ago, and I haven't figured out how to address it yet because now I'm here, but my hot water's not working. I got a Spectrum guy coming today. Today is a real concerning day because I've got to pay rent, and I've got to ask my building manager, who's like 80,000 years old, what's up with the water. And I also don't want to get anywhere near him because he's so old.
I have an admission, a rare admission, that of how the Try Guys have made me better as a person. Because I realize that story makes me sound like I was a very bad person, which in a lot of ways I was. But I think that I admit that for a long period of my life, I was very intolerant of people who had food intolerances. Does that make sense?
Sure.
It's a thing. It's kind of like, it's a shade of when people like harp on vegetarian people or vegans, you know? But
you used to be the type of person that would disdain on someone's self-professed gluten intolerance.
Yeah, I was always that guy. I think it came from like childhood because my parents basically forced me to eat everything. Like they wouldn't let me be picky, right? They always said, this is very 90s, but my parents always said, there are starving kids in Africa. Do you know there are starving kids in Asia? I also remember like I didn't like salad as a kid, and my dad for like a month like force fed me salad to make me like it. He would just sit there and spoon it in my mouth and be like, I bought this, you eat this. And then I liked salad. So I guess I never really got how people could be intolerant of food. But knowing Zach and Keith, it's really warmed me up to the idea that it's very valid. Like it's a valid and a hard way to live. I never really understood that.
Whenever people force feed people things, it's typically with a spoon because it's like soup or mush. I've never seen someone force feed someone with a fork, and that must be way scarier because it's like it's a little trident going in your mouth.
Yeah, he did it with God. This is such a specific memory. He did it with coleslaw because he figured coleslaw would be like a gateway. Because I didn't even want to touch the coleslaw, and it was a plastic
salad.
sport.
Yeah, gateway salad.
Yeah.
But guys calling. I'll be right back.
All right, go. Yeah,
Keith.
I see that. I feel that.
Yeah.
Well, Keith, take the call. Keith, take the call on TryPod. That's good radio.
Yeah, that's good radio. Listen.
I just want people out there to know that I'm like not intolerant of people's food intolerances anymore.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
good.
I grew up the same way. I mean, I think it is just a point of privilege. Like, I'm not allergic to anything, and so I was just like, oh, you don't like this, but like, that's just because I am, arrogant and can eat whatever I want. All right, guys. Well, people are in their homes, and it's coronavirus time, and you know what they're doing? They're getting lit. So we have an email. I'm drunktryguys@gmail.com. And people email us in their questions, their quandaries, usually while they're a little toasty. We have a very special email over here from someone named Eugene. Can I get a fake name?
Three-legged dog.
Three-legged dog writes, hello, Try Guys.
Hello.
I am writing because I found out my prom and graduation is canceled because of COVID. I'm drunk legally, so you can read. So they must be from the UK or something.
Yeah,
But-
not from here.
Not from here. But since I will not be returning to school, should I get bangs? I'm a girl, so all time low moment. No one will see me, so if they're bad, no one will have to look at my monstrosity. Plus, why the hell not? It's quarantine, baby. Just have to say, love the show and your podcasts are pushing me through the quarantine. Also, Miles, change your advice. That will go for Miles' song. With all love, Three-Legged Dog.
Whoa, a little blow at the end there. Just snuck
Yeah, snuck in like
in.
that.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow, how'd
I
that
think
not be
Apparently, Three-Legged Dog has never appreciated pop punk anthems.
Although I sort of read it as like they're saying change your advice that will go for Miles' song because I've used the same song for a couple weeks in a row. So
Right, you didn't adapt it.
I didn't adapt it because it's harder to adapt it and get you guys to hear it while we're on the Zoom call.
We
Before
can't ever hear it.
Exactly.
Dive.
That's the secret. We haven't heard it the last 3 times. So we just watch you dance.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
there's something to be said for having the same theme song because there's
Yeah.
reliability there. People look forward to it. Also, you don't have to spend 2 hours every single time
it's
changing
never-
it up.
It's never been 2 hours. Normally, when I would change it up, before we answer this first question, normally when I would change it up, it's me yelling into the recorder in my cell phone 15 minutes before we would record the tripod. But
You know, Miles, before we get to Bang's advice, I've got 2 bones to pick this episode, and one is coming out right now. Because when you began doing the advice that'll go for Miles' theme song, you started mixing it up, you started remixing, and then one week it was, hello, this is Becky Habersberger, and you're listening to the TryPod.
yeah,
The week after, hello, this is Ariel Fulmer, you're
Yeah.
listening to the TryPod. Did you get someone's parent once? And not once.
yeah, okay.
Have you reached out to my lovely girlfriend,
Yeah.
Maggie, who's been sitting here and wait? So what gives, Miles? Do you guys got a beef? Do
No,
you guys got a little competition? Are you jealous that she's closer to me than you, perhaps?
yeah, that's absolutely
Miles, that's
it.
mildly sociopathic behavior.
I'll say that's a veritable giving pork to someone who says they're allergic. But let me tell you why, Zach. There were weeks where we would record the tripod where not all of you guys would be in the same room. And so I wanted the Maggie cameo to be big. I wanted it to be huge. I wanted it to shock the nation. I wanted it to shock the people. And I couldn't do that with only a couple of you guys. And now we're in quarantine. And so
I see what you're saying. There
You know
were
what I'm
weeks
saying?
where not everyone was there. You wanted the full boom.
I wanted the full punch of the
cast.
Bustamante charm. I wanted the this dance of the Bustamante cadence. I wanted the full form in her Maggie self. So
you
it
know
didn't
what,
get
guys?
there.
Consider the beef quelled.
Squash.
Wow.
Thank you.
That-
Thank
Wow.
you.
The beef has been porked.
Thank you.
The beef has been porked.
Now, should
Bangs.
this girl get bangs? Yeah.
Eugene, you're the only one of us who really has knowledge about hair,
Yes.
so I'm not even gonna
Understands
pretend.
Bangs even are.
I know it's a big
vote
deal
no.
for people. I just don't understand why.
Okay. Now's the time of the podcast for gay shit with me. You ready? You ready? Are you hetero boys ready to have your minds blown?
Yeah.
Yas.
Always.
All right. So let me give you some cultural context. For women and gay men in particular, there's something known as a point in which they feel like they're going insane, where they have to do something with their hair that's different. For girls, the big jumps are usually bangs, dyeing it, cutting it short. For gay boys, it is buzzing your head and bleaching it. Those are the 2 things gay boys do. So that's the order of extremes. And right now, if you look at coronavirus tweets, if you see anyone who's a gay friend or a female friend, one of them at some point is going to say, should I bleach my head? Should I cut my bangs? My advice is this is, in fact, an opportune time to try something different with your hair because you are at home. I always say it's great to try something new. However, I think the issue with doing it at home during something like the coronavirus is if it's your first time, like Three-Legged Dog said, you're probably doing it on yourself or you're having your family or friend do it on you. And things like bangs are like, I do not advise girls to try it on themselves for the first time. It is actually like an art to shape a face correctly with the style of bangs. You don't just do this. You don't just do this. Like a stylist should look at your face and say, this is the way you should cut a bang. And you'll know that from girls who've had bangs a lot because they'll like start going into these whole things about the types of bangs that they've had. So my advice is, unless you know a stylist who can like really guide you, types of bangs, yeah. There's like the baby doll bangs, there's the side swept bangs, you know, blah, blah, blah.
So to back that up, Maggie has been slowly transitioning towards bangs, which I guess means she's having a slow identity crisis over time, according to your logic. I don't know. But she was told, like, you can't just go right into it. So she got, I don't know, like quarter banged and then is kind of training her hair over time. I don't quite understand.
Whoa,
Yeah,
Keith, you are banging right now on the YouTubes. Keith just suddenly pushed his hair down and he's got full bangs.
That's cute, Keith.
I got to side swoop it though because my hair is longer in certain parts because of how I part it. So now the bangs there's like this one divot of longer hair bangs.
I would recommend Three-Legged Dog. Go for it and film it. There are a subset of like TikToks that are hilarious where a girl will like, twist their hair up in front of their eyes, hold scissors, then suddenly cut it and then scream. And sometimes it looks good, sometimes it looks bad. But I mean, in 15 seconds, you can create a lot of good. You can suddenly change your hair and put it on the internet for other people to enjoy. So that would be my advice. Go for it.
Viral glory.
YOLO, but make sure you get it on camera.
I think my fear for Three-Legged Dog and anyone out there who wants to change their hair is that she sounds young and it's probably the first time she's having bangs. And much like Keith's egg allergy, you do it once and you feel like it hurts you, you're never going to do it again. And it keeps you away from styles that you might enjoy for many, many years, especially when you're a teenager. So I'd say like, if you could get at least some advice about the type of bangs you could get, maybe try it. But I'd be wary just because it might turn you off of bangs for a long time.
A while also to get rid of the bangs.
Yeah, what's
right?
the over-under on that? Like 6 months?
Yeah, all of those hair crises I've described are jumps because they take a long time to grow back or to go back to natural.
So like a year?
For bangs, like it depends on how short your bangs are and the types. Like if you do side swept, it's easier to blend in.
Straight
but
across the eyebrow.
It's at least like several months.
Several months?
Probably several months. I mean, think about how long your hair grows
have a
when you cut
vaccine
it.
by then.
Now, Keith, you've been silently styling your hair in the other square over there, giving yourself bangs. I'm curious, how has your instant bang experience affected your persona and personality?
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, I look a lot worse now. I was struggling with finding which way to bang it, because the bangs are there, but they're so long on this side of my head.
Yeah.
You get a better gist of it.
Can I say who you look like who you've turned into immediately? You look like any gamer on Twitch.
Yeah, you kind of look like Phil, Dan and Phil.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm pretty. This actually is very similar to how I used to wear my hair. It used to be just like fucking. It was short and like across, and just really like short bangs, and just like plain fucking. Comb it straight forward, walk out the door kind of boy. I'm too busy looking hot over here.
Ned, where are you, Ned?
It just popped in my head, and this is a total change of subject, but I want to say something because last week I gave some fort advice, and I told people to put their couch on their side, and I realized not every couch will do that without probably falling down and crushing you, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have said to the young people who, might be in their house, be like, I can just put my couch on inside and get under it. That might not be a good idea. So you take a kitchen chair. If you're going to do that, take a kitchen chair and put it under the side of the couch that looks most likely like it's going to fall over. Just give yourself something that it will crush first before it crushes you.
Yeah.
Because I was worried. I was like, what if somebody crushes themselves because I told them a better way to put, not every couch. See, I have a sectional, so it breaks into pieces. So it's easier for me to think I could stack it up. But not every couch is built like that. Please don't get crushed by your couch.
An important PSA from the Try Guys. Please don't get crushed. And if you do, it's not Keith's fault. It's definitely not.
If you do, film it. There's a whole bunch of TikToks where people set up their couches and then their couches crush them, and it's hilarious.
Guys, I've got a bone to pick with nature. I want to talk to you guys about birds. You guys heard of birds?
Yeah.
Birds.
You know
I
them?
love birds.
They
So,
go.
you're picking a bone with birds?
I'm picking a bone with one bird in particular. I got a specific bird that is terrorizing my life. Now, about 2 months ago, maybe 2.5 months ago, I was getting ready for bed. And as I'm laying in bed, I hear tweet-a-leet, tweet-tweet, tweet-a-leet. And I go, that's weird. Birds don't chirp at night. We all agree, right? Pretty fucking weird. You know what? I should back up the story to 6 months ago because I started using the bedtime app on my phone. And the bedtime app, what it does is that it sets a time where your phone goes off, and then in the morning, it gently wakes you up with a rising tone. So you have a tone, and it starts very soft, and it gets louder and louder and louder and louder. And the default... Exactly. The default is the sound of birds gently chirping. It's beautiful.
I really just want like Keith voice default. Now,
Wake
after
up.
hearing that.
Good morning.
Wake up.
Nice. How's it going? Oh, it's another day. Nothing's
love
happening today either.
I would love. So,
You lack the motivation to get out of bed. I understand.
but I
Okay,
won't
so it
stop
was-
talking till you do.
Birds. The default was birds tweeting.
And a beautiful, magical way to wake up. You wake up and the sun is streaking through your window. You got birds chirping. It is lovely. All my dreams were interrupted by birds kind of chirping and tweeting, and then I would wake up into the next morning. So I've been training myself to wake up to the sound of birds for 6 months. Then, 2 months ago, a bird starts chirping outside my window. I have no memory of birds at night. But this bird chirps all fucking night. I'm talking, he is screaming his little fucking head off, chirping. And I know that the early bird gets the worm, but this is a late bird who just stays the fuck awake. So I go to Google and I go, Google, what the fuck is going on with this bird? Because I'm like, maybe he has rabies. Maybe it's a harbinger of death to come. I don't know. It's a mockingbird. Yeah. And mockingbirds,
Ooh.
They sing at night.
they sing at night when they are single and trying to attract a mate. So you're telling me that for 2 months I haven't been able to sleep because some fucking virgin bird is in my tree screaming, "Ladybirds, get over here." That's my bone to pick with nature. All these fucking virgin
I feel
birds.
like he's more of a fuckboy the way you describe it. 'Cause,
Yeah, he's just yelling for anybody.
you know.
It's a great
you know.
point. It's a great point, Ned. He's a fuckboy bird.
He's a fuckboy bird.
fuckboy bird. He's got to find a
fuckbird.
Saoirse. I just want to find him a nice Saoirse so he could settle down. He needs a ladybird.
Oh, very good.
Oh, that's where you're going with that. Clever.
Like it.
Very clever. Very clever. A to
So
C.
it's been driving
A to
me
C.
wild.
So, Zach, I've had a similar thing going on where mockingbirds, every once in a while, they'll be right outside chirping. But we've also had a problem with ravens because
Ooh.
ravens will mimic the sound. If I'm wrong about this, freaking drag me, cancel me. But
Yeah.
ravens will mimic the sound of transformers on power lines, and the sound
What?
is like, yeah, it's crazy. So they'll mimic the sound of like a transformer vibrating and humming, and so it'll sound like something electrical is happening, like outside your house, but it'll actually be a raven that is imitating the sound, and it's like the sound is something like it's just like. Like it does not sound like a bird. It just sounds like electrical equipment. But we've had that happen outside our house a couple times, and apparently it's like a problem, especially in LA.
Are you guys finding that during quarantine, the people that live in apartments, there are like people awake later and like more noises from people?
Yeah, my neighbor was fucking making a smoothie at 9 p.m. the other day. I'm like, fucking cut that shit out. We're fucking it's time to start relaxing and going to bed. You're making a smoothie? Who the fuck are you? Also, it's a problem is my neighbor's kitchen is right by our bedroom.
Yeah.
And sometimes this lady, oh my fuck, this lady, I swear, every night and morning she decides she needs to rearrange the pots and pans in her cabinet. Last night it sounded like she was replacing doorknobs. It was just like crank, 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 crank.
And that's just up against your bed.
It's just 10 o'clock. And then Becky wants to fight with her, so she'll turn, but not, in a passive aggressive way. So she'll just blast Shawn Mendes. And I'm like, Becky, both of these are annoying to me.
No.
It's 10 o'clock at night. We're trying to watch a movie. Why don't you just turn up the volume of the movie? That will also irritate them. But now there's so much just noise. It's just noise. We're just noise fighting. And no one even knows. She doesn't know we're fighting her. She just thinks we got loud too. This woman is I've never detested someone that I barely speak to more. Her car is also right below our window, and she's got some kind of car that I've never heard of. I don't know what the model is. It's not from here. I've never heard of this car. It looks like a Fiat, and it sounds like a truck. It is, and it seems like she has to turn it on for a solid 2 minutes before it can drive, because it is like the loudest.
Introducing the all-new Alfa Romeo diesel.
Yeah, it is so loud, and it's like, and she'll turn it on. Now she doesn't obviously leave anymore, so that's one good thing. That car's not turning on anymore. But when it would be so loud, and we would hear her make a noise in her kitchen. We'd hear her go downstairs because the stairs are also right under our apartment, and then she would start her car, and it'd be a block of 20 minutes of just noise from this woman, this loud woman. She drives me nuts. Last night she was carrying a lamp down the stairs, and she hit every stair with the lamp. It was like clank, 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 clank. I'm like, what are you doing? Just pick it up. Just pick up the lamp.
There is a very unique disdain for the shitty neighbor. It's usually a force that you see them maybe twice a year, but you're aware of their presence constantly. And the amount of hate that you transfer onto that entity, second to none.
It was one time she made a smoothie at 3:30 in the morning, and I just hit the wall and said no, and she stopped.
You just slammed. You're like, no.
I was like, no, you can do this at 5:30 in the morning, and I will be upset, but I'll let you do it. But 3:30 is inexcusable.
Yeah, Jesus.
3:30.
Oh wow! Was it? And 3:30 is so late. I mean, it's like, is that at the end of partying, or is it a really, really early morning? That's so in the middle of.
Dad, this lady doesn't
no
party.
time.
This lady has no parties. I promise you, this lady has no parties. But she does talk loud on the phone all the time.
Wow, that's bad. We once were below a publicist who worked with a client in New York at every day at 5:30 a.m. was dressed ready to go to start her 6 a.m. workday, clacking around in high heels. That was rough. But a 3:30 a.m. smoothie.
I had the high heel neighbors above me in my old apartment, and I thought about buying them a carpet. Just being like, hey, this is just welcome to the neighborhood. So happy to have you. Here's a carpet for your house. Do you want it? Please?
It's big. It's as big as you need. Cut to size.
Have you guys ever had to confront a neighbor, like go to their door and just be like, hey, I'm really sorry, but like whatever you're doing is absolutely out of control.
I never had that. Our other neighbors, so we have the crazy lady on one side, and the other neighbors are the loudest sex fuckers in the world.
Oh,
and it's not just that she is loud. he is loud.
Oh,
I never heard
boy.
both parties be loud, and there was one afternoon, and Becky and I were just dying laughing because at one point he just went, fuck! It was too funny. It was just so
Oh
funny.
God! Oh my God!
My power level is over 9,000.
Yeah. Oh God!
Heath, I'm gonna have your other wake up as my alarm clock, but if I snooze through my alarm clock, my second backup alarm clock.
Well, maybe you have problematic neighbors. Maybe you don't. Maybe there's some other regions of your life that need some advice. Maybe you're thinking about getting banged. So I don't know your situation, but I do know we've got a nation that loves a certain type of advice. Advice that'll go for miles with your friend and mine, Miles Bonsignore.
It's advice that'll go for miles. Tune it to your radio station. We're
seeing him rock out inside.
Miles. Everyone get ready.
Miles Nation.
It's a very
Miles Nation.
Miles Nation.
It's advice that'll go for
Miles.
Advice that'll go.
for
That'll go.
miles.
What's up, Miles Nation? I'm Miles Bonsignore. How you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Have you ever wanted to be a stinky little queen?
You say stinky a lot in these.
Well, sometimes people be getting stinky. Have you ever wanted?
Is that Frozen
the
2?
Frozen
Are you
2?
singing Frozen 2?
Have you ever wanted to go on an adventure to a magical forest? Have you ever wanted to watch a film not nearly as good as the first one?
Are you talking about Frozen 2?
He clearly is. Clearly talking about Frozen 2.
Trolls World Tour.
Watch Frozen 2 on Disney Plus. Watch Frozen 2 on Disney Plus.
Not a sponsor.
Terrible advice.
I've been watching Frozen 2 once last week. And it was fine, but the music was divine.
Yeah, the music's really good. in
The
this one.
movie's
I agree.
bad.
The plot.
The movie's bad.
Oh, it's not bad.
Come
It's
on,
fine.
Miles.
The movie's bad. Here's
Miles,
why.
I liked it.
I have watched it 6 times so far. Wes runs around the house screaming, "Yay, Frozen!" And
so
you know,
cute.
first time I loved it. Second time I tolerated it. Third time I didn't like it. Fourth time I found a lot to love about it.
Now,
And the
I
fifth
love...
time I am a devoted Frozen 2 fanatic.
Of course.
And the sixth time,
so,
Sixth time we turned it off halfway through and watched Paddington.
yeah, I'll probably have
Yeah,
So here's the thing
now
about
that's a
Frozen 2. Frozen 1 is about sisterhood. It's a reversal on the common princess form. Uh-oh, Prince Charming? More like Prince Villain?
Alarming.
Frozen 2 is almost barely about nothing. There's almost zero conflict, and the primary antagonist is revealed in moment 1 and is dead before the movie begins. But the music is divine.
am I the only one of us who has not seen Frozen 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay,
so.
where
Give
does
us your review.
okay, I'll let you know what I think. Where does Frozen 2 rank compared to Frozen?
Below.
Well, I know your
Absolutely.
opinion, Miles.
I
I
liked
think
it
it's-
more.
You liked it more?
I liked it more.
I think
yeah.
it's slightly above, yeah.
Frozen 2 is more of an action adventure.
My controversial opinion is that I think Frozen is not a good movie. And I stand by that. I think it has one fantastic song. I think that I respect what it was trying to do with the sister plot, but I think it is a bad movie, and that is my piece. Get at me, hashtag Zach Kornfeld is over party. I don't care.
I disagree, but I'm not going to get into it
Also disagree.
because I'm a big I'm a big animation head, and I'm going to go into whole animation theory. That's another podcast.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just not. It's certainly not in my top 5 Disney animated films.
Oh,
No.
I don't think it's in my top 20.
How many Disney films are there? Probably like only 25.
No, I think there's a lot of animated ones now.
We count
Animated canon?
Pixar?
Yeah, well, then
It's
hard.
over. I think it's like 50.
I will say the music "Show Yourself" is a bop.
Show Yourself is the best.
It's so good.
Show Yourself is even better than Let It Go.
I agree, and it's got Westworld in it. Westworld is a primary character in Frozen 2.
Evan Rachel Wood.
Yeah, Westworld.
Yeah.
She's really good in it. And there's some fun moments with magic and a very cute salamander.
Did they get rid of the stupid fucking troll creatures?
They make a cameo.
Yeah.
They make a cameo. The best.
yeah.
Here's the thing. You should watch Frozen 2 just for. There's this a moment where Olaf reenacts all of Frozen 1. And
Very
it's better
good.
than the movie. It's better than Frozen.
Anytime Wes saw that little salamander, he giggled so much. The salamander like jumps off the cliff, and Wes is like, ah.
So that's your advice, Miles, is to
Yeah.
go watch a Disney Plus streaming movie that
Go.
didn't sponsor us.
Yeah, go.
I feel like, Zach, I actually feel like you would enjoy Frozen 2 more than Frozen.
Yeah, it's more.
I
It's
think-
easier to love.
Like Let It Go is like reached iconic level status, but
Great
there's a
song.
more consistency. Like all of the songs are pretty good in Frozen 2.
And Lost in the Woods comes out of nowhere and is really good and is like
Yeah.
this
So funny.
80s funny song. High recommend.
Yeah.
And Frozen
'Cause I
1,
think-
the equivalent of that song is like a kind of a throwaway moment.
Yeah.
Right. I made a joke about it, but I am most stoked for the new Trolls movie. The first Trolls movie I watched as a goof because all these little kids we worked with said they loved it, and it is a psychedelic romp. It is so funny and so trippy and so weird, and all I want to do is go back to college and be altered and watch that movie.
Right.
So I'm going to watch Trolls 2, and then I'll report back, and if I have time, maybe I'll watch Frozen 2. I think you would
find
love...
some time.
You got time.
Yeah, the time.
I have started having my first coronavirus-related nightmares, where this has happened twice to me now. I'm in a public place, like going about my subconscious business. So I'm just... Last night I was in a store. I don't remember what I was shopping for. And then all of a sudden, like 40 people swarmed. And they were just close to me. And literally all the nightmare is that I can't stay 6 feet apart from people. And I'm just trying to back into the corner and not be a weirdo. And I cover my mouth with my shirt. And I'm just anxious. And then I wake up. And I'm too hot because I'm always too hot in the middle of the night. And my throat hurts every night. It's just like a thing because I have allergies and dust and pollen and whatever.
Right.
And when I wake up, it goes away within 5 minutes. But so I wake up from this nightmare and my throat is just piercing with pain. And my eyes bolt open. I freak out. And then I can't go back to sleep. And then I am late to the podcast and I throw on a robe and here we are. And then I have a fucking bird outside my window who's like, time to wake up! Time to wake up, Zach! Tweedledee-leet!
Same, Zach. Same. Well, this has been a great episode, everyone. No, but seriously, that is the exact same thing has happened to me. I hope everyone's staying safe out there. Please keep your social distancing up.
They say it's working in California. If you've
Yep.
seen, we have been flattening the curve of the estimates. So what we're doing out here, we've been very vigilant here. Also, we have the benefit of not living in a city that's actually where everyone's on top of each other. We have some natural distance in our houses, but it is working. So keep it up. And if you've got any stupid friends that resent it, fuck them. They're not your friends anymore.
And can I add, Keith, don't get complacent. I think a lot of people in the next 2 weeks are going to start to be like, all right, social distancing, time to ease up. We have to stay vigilant or else all of this was for nothing. Things unfortunately are going to get bad in the weeks to come. And so please continue to stay safe out there.
Be sure to subscribe to the TryPod. Leave us a 5-star review. It helps other people discover the show. Also, if you want to support the show, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/tryguys. We got special content, exclusive content for you over there. Or check out our merch at tryguys.com. It helps support the show and our staff here at Second Try. Keith, hit us with the official TryPod theme song.
Oh, you want to have bangs on your face, but you don't know how to make it take place, so you take some scissors and just go for it. And if you look bad, nobody's gonna see it. Yeah, it's the TryPod.
Reminder, we're twice a week, yo. Twice a week.
2 times a week now.
Tuesday,
And 3 videos a
Thursday,
week. That's
baby.
5 Try Guys.
Monday, Wednesday, Saturday on YouTube. Stay beautiful.
Are we just glazing over Zach saying Trolls is better than Frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're out of time, baby.